with the education about the importance of the vaccines. No? So definitely, our target is to be at 100% by mid-October, meaning we have inoculated 2 doses already to all of our employees, and convincing the 6% who is not yet willing during the time that we surveyed to be willing to be vaccinated as well.
We're talking of how many individuals, sir?
Okay, so our total employee population currently is 2,600. So we're done at 51% is 1,300. So we're talking more of around 1,300 to be inoculated in the coming days.
With the Delta variant, magkaroon ba ng pagpipili ng bakuna na inoculate sa kanila in Philippines?
Okay, yung strategiya kasi ng GG Summit ng Cebu Pacific, ours is a multi-brand strategy approach. So even before the Delta variant arose, when we procure the vaccines, we make sure that when we procure, we'll have different brands. So we procured Moderna, AstraZeneca, Novavax. We procured for around 190,000 vaccines, no, to cover for all the employees of the Makuwi Group, our own for third-party workers, and even dependents for free.
Sir, paano nyo pa nakikita makakatulong itong vaccination nyo sa possible effect naman ng Delta variant sa airlines?
Of course, there's more literature that would come out about the Delta variant. But vaccination is vaccination, right? For as long as, it's always a choice. I think the debate has always been, you be protected by a vaccine regardless of what brand, or not be protected at all, right? So if that is the debate, then definitely what we are encouraging our employees or third-party workers or our dependents is to be inoculated so that there's that protection. So regardless of what strain it would be, at least there's that protection.
Yung chosen Moderna, Astra, and Novavax,
yes.
Talagang pinili niyo talaga. Yun talaga among all brands. Because,
yes, so it was a conscious decision. It's not only Cebu Pacific who decided on it. We are part of a conglomerate. So we procured centrally. So it's our corporate office who look into all the literature, all these brands, and procured these vaccines for the whole conglomerate.
Mas mabibigyan po ba ng prioridad yung mga fully vaccinated yung employees when it comes to flight 15 Filipinos? Flight operation.
Okay, so ang maganda po ngayon, maganda sa ginagawa natin, while 51% are inoculated in our employee population, 58% are flying crew. We also added another layer of protection. Meron po tayong tinatawag na test before duty para sa mga frontliners natin, mga piloto at cabin crew, using antigen testing. So meaning po, hindi po natin sila isa-schedule para lumipad kung positive sila sa antigen. So for example, if their flight is tomorrow, we're scheduling them for antigen testing, no, test before duty, the day prior. And the results should be negative for them to be scheduled to fly.
So regardless kung fully vaccinated o hindi, kailangan mag-antigen pa rin?
For now, we will continue with that protocol. So while we're waiting for more medical literature in relation to testing and also the vaccination, ipagpapatuloy muna natin yung test before duty para sa mga piloto, cabin crew, frontliners natin.
Aside from wrapping up your vaccination efforts mo sa Tagalog na rin, ano ba yung mga ginawa nyo bilang pag-a-adjust sa Delta variant?
Okay, we've come up with nagkaroon tayo ng isang komprehensibong tawag natin dito ng Cebu Pacific COVID Care Toolkit. Lahat po ng assistance, lahat ng protocol na dapat gawin ng mga empleyado na kaya nilang asahan sa kumpanya ay inilitahan po natin doon. So, kasama po doon, for example, na yung tawag natin test before duty, meron po tayong strict protocols on disinfection, sanitation, meron po tayong guidelines in relation to isolation. So lahat po ng mga posibleng assistance nakahanda po para sa mga empleyado natin from the start of the pandemic up until now.
Ngayon, Delta variant, paano nyo po nakikita maapektuhan talaga yung airlines? Sabi niyo po, magkakaroon ng challenge sa inyo.
We always work with the government and our regulators po, no? With regard to our travel destinations, etc. So, and we make sure that we strictly adhere and follow to these government regulations. The situation is very fluid, no? Given government directives. But like what I've said, no? Patuloy po yung pakikipag-partner natin sa government agencies so that at least we know what would be the protocols that we need to follow. Yung tanong niyo po ay makaka-apekto, posible dahil depende po sa regulation, ilalagay po ng ating gobyerno. Pero makakaasa po, similar to the past, ay susundin po natin whatever protocols po susunod.
Sir, with more flight crew being vaccinated, will this translate to more flights?
Similar to the other countries po, no? Of course, ang nakikita natin at inaasahan natin, yung surge po would really be on domestic travel. So, we're very optimistic, cautiously optimistic, na sana ay pag mas marami na nabakunahan, when we reach a certain level of herd immunity, ay mas marami na po na travelers na mas confident na magbiyahe. At therefore po, yung mga flights natin ay mag-i-increase rin po.
The government is calling na baka pwede isa rin borders natin or stricter travel restrictions dahil sa Delta variant. Paano kayo sa tingin may impact?
Like what I've said po kanina, talagang pong may impact. Whatever the government will be imposing in terms of standards, restrictions, etc., it will have an impact on our flights. And maasa na naman po sa side ng Cebu Pacific, so whatever those would be, susundin po natin, di ba? We will adjust based on whatever those government regulations would be.
May mga suggestion na parang magkakaroon tayo ng stricter mobility, lalo na dun sa mga hindi bakunado. Pero kayo sa airlines, pabor po ba kayo na maging maluwag yung mobility ng mga vaccinated para sa kayo naman magkaroon ng mas maraming pasahero, hindi na maliliit, may Delta variant?
Even prior to the pandemic naman po, no, we've always had an open relationship with the required regulators and government agencies. No? So, lalo na ng pandemic, patuloy po yung mga dialogues natin sa mga grupong ito. So, patuloy po yung makikipag-dialogo po natin sa kanila, lalo na po because of this Delta variant. No? And kung magkaroon po ng herd immunity, like what we've said, no, we are optimistic na sana po mas marami sana travel destinations na pwede mas mag-open, na mas standardize po yung mga travel requirements, mas streamline din po lahat po ng mga hinihingi sa mga bawat pasahero mag-travel. So ito po yung mga bagay na patuloy po yung dialogo namin sa mga government agencies and regulators with the objective na sana po mabilisan ang pagbukas ulit ng ating ekonomiya, lalo na ang domestic travel tourism.
Sir, ano po ba yung mga LGU ngayon na nagre-require ng vaccination results? Imbis ko na RT-PCR yung travel requirements?
May mga iba na po tayong LGUs na may matrix po tayo na talagang we monitor. May mga iba na pong LGUs kasi na, pero mga ilang pa lang yung mga pumapayag na fully vaccinated individuals, ipepresent na lang yung vaccination card. Yung iba po kasi talaga at karamihan sa LGUs, meron pa rin po silang hinahanap ng mga RT-PCR requirements.
Tapos sir, ano na lang, bali, iba doon sa social media natin, may mga travelers na nagpo-comment nga na yung refund nila, matagal na daw sila hindi nag-refund. So, ano bang action natin for them?
We were very cognizant po sa aspetong ng refunds. No? Kaya po kami sa Cebu Pacific, talaga pong ginawa natin na mas paikliin ang proseso to improve our internal processes. Siguro po as a status, para po doon sa mga credit card transactions on refunds, updated na po ang Cebu Pacific up until June, all the transactions up until June this year. With regard po sa mga cash at sa mga travel agents, updated na po tayo sa refunds up until April this year. No? So, yun po, I think this is good news and tabayanan niyo rin po yung announcements namin kung paano pa namin mas mapapabilis ang pambalik ng refunds. Pero that I think nasa good news po in terms of our status. We made significant strides po sa updates natin sa refunds. So ulit po, pag cash and travel agents, updated na po kami until April 2021. Pag credit cards, updated po kami until June 2021.
Ano ba yung mga challenges na kinakaharap natin sa pag-refund yung mga na-flight na traffic?
Of course, we did not expect the voluminous refunds, di ba? Parang we were structured, our processes were arranged in such a way that pre-pandemic. So yung ganung kadaming refunds, hindi po natin naasahan. Kaya po ngayon, at least nandito tayo sa pandemya to at talaga namang patuloy pa rin ang bugso ng marami pang refunds. We make sure lang po na ayusin natin ang internal processes natin.
Tapos panghuli na, mensahe na lang para sa mga pasaherong nagagalit.
Thank you for your patience po sa paghihintay ng inyong mga refunds, maasahan niyo po na kung ngayon ang ating refund process would take you 7 months, maasahan niyo po in the coming days we'll make announcements on how we can shorten po this waiting time for your refunds.
Sir, nakakabangon na ba ang Cebu Pacific sa kabila ng mga travel restrictions?
Pakiulit ah.
Nakakabangon na ba ang Cebu Pacific sa kabila ng mga travel restrictions?
We are similar to the other airlines, but we are cautiously optimistic in terms of what's out there in the horizon po. No? Patuloy po kami na nagsusumikap na kung ano man yung i-aalaw sa amin na destinations for travel, patuloy po tayo nilipad doon. Mapapasahero man po yan o mapakargo. Yun po, we are cautiously optimistic that the domestic travel will soon surge as soon as most of the population in our country would reach a certain level of vaccinated people.
Sir, ilan po yung napit pa na nagkaroon ba ng layoff?
Yes, malungkot po kami noong 2020 po no, na we had to let go of some of our employees. May mga empleyado po from the pilots, from the cabin crew, even from our support groups. So noong 2020 po, we had to let go of some of our employees. But we made sure po na yung malasakit would be there with regard to the package we gave them, with regard to the assistance. Kumbaga yung life after set, pinipare din po natin itong mga empleyado natin on what's out there outside Cebu Pacific.
Anything more you want to add?
Yeah.
Last 3 questions
Yes.
from the youth.
Last question. Anything more you want to add? Or anything we could have Anything more you want to add?
Okay, so
Last.
we're like what we said, Cebu Pacific is very optimistic that hopefully sooner rather than later, that domestic travel will once again boom. The travel confidence among our passengers would again increase as soon as we reach that certain level of herd immunity among our population.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any hesitancy in flying.
How about you, Heather? Gaano ka-importante, gaano kahalaga na nakapagpapakuna ka na? For you and your family.
Opo, malaking bagay po na nakapagbakuna na po ako ngayon. Kasi gaya po na sabi ni Captain, hindi lang protection na din po sa sarili ko yun, kundi protection din ng family ko at pati yung mga nasa paligid namin sa company at saka sa iba pang mga tao. Sobrang mahalagang nakapagbakuna na po kami.
Pag lumipad kayo, hindi ba kayo minakabahan? Wala ba kayong vaccine na baka makahawa kayo sa flight, ganyan? How do you think ako lumipad kayo sa tao?
Tuwing lumilipad po kami, naniniwala po kami na sinusunod namin yung procedures. Tapos every 14 days din po may test before duty po kami. Kaya po, hindi po kami kinakabahan na makahawa o mahawa dahil sinusunod po kami sa procedures.
Pero ano yung struggle kung hindi pa kayo nababakunahan?
Ang struggle po nung hindi pa kami nababakunahan, may mga bagay na syempre mas mainit ka, tapos may mas mahigpit na mga protocols na kailangan ng dalawang i-observe.
Well, aside from yung protocol, for me, meron pa rin akong extra layer na binibigay sa sarili ko. Like, I don't take off this mask, gusto ko nasa cockpit, because yun ang possibility na makuha ko yung virus. We limit the entry of people inside the cockpit.
Well, at least your company did their best to inoculate you. Pero kung wala pa kayong bakuna, how are you living with your family? Kasi diba, lagi kayo exposed, mag-ano.
Oo, isa din yun. So what I do is, before getting inside my house, yung clothes ko, ilalagay ko sa isang lalagyan. My shoes is left outside. In the aircraft, before we leave, we spray ourselves with disinfectant together with our tags. Ganun ka in protection ng
Ikaw naman, yung hindi ka pa nababakunahan, yung mga kinailangan sakripisyo, struggles mo.
Sobrang dami pong sakripisyo kasi nakabukod na po ako sa pamilya ko. So, ang ginagawa ko po para maprotektahan din sila. Dahil ako na lang sa bahay, matagal akong hindi umuwi. So, tuwing may mga special test lang, kahit test for duty, saka lang ako umuwi sa bahay. Pero pag tumagal na po, sinisigurado ko na naka-isolate ako para sigurado wala pong hawa.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Keep safe.
Thank you.
Okay.